Hi again! In this video, we'll discover what discipline means, why it's so relevant for achieving our goals, and some examples of how to apply it in our daily routine. Discipline, as we saw in the previous video, is the first of the four virtues required to walk the Shaolin way. But we can also broaden our vision to understand that no matter what kind of path you choose to walk, if you want to change, to reach a new goal, you need discipline. You need a strategy to reach it. Otherwise, the risk of failure becomes huge. Now, what does discipline mean? The word discipline comes from the ancient Latin word discipulus, which we can translate as disciple or young student. Therefore, discipline is the way in which the young student approaches knowledge. This way we are referring to is a complete lifestyle that has to be molded to allow for optimal learning and consequently the best outcome. Your discipline has to encompass your whole existence. And about being a young student, it refers to being able to learn new things, molding a new way. In fact, it seems quite difficult to give a shape to someone who already has one. But let's try to understand the underlying meaning. The point is not your age. The issue is your ability to clean and tidy up your mind, making space for something new. Shifu Xianxi calls this emptying your cup. In other words, if you stay attached to your beliefs, cultures, flags, manner, and behaviors, well, there is not much space for a change because your structure, your shape is already made. And by the first principle of thermodynamics called inertia, you'll unconsciously try to maintain your static equilibrium. To make change possible, to move something, we need the intervention of certain energy. We need chi, our internal energy moved by intention, focused on a goal, and able to allow that the transformation begins. Now that we have realized that the change is possible, we have to stay disciplined until the end of the process to keep the energy in the direction we choose. We need strength, endurance, and perseverance. Too much theory. So now let's go down to the point with some practical tips for integrating disciplines in our daily life. I would suggest you not to pretend to change too much at once, but to take it step by step and at your own pace. I would recommend that you plan your personal project using a sample method, like a waterfall. In a nutshell, the strategy is to tackle a big and clear task, like to become more disciplined, in many small concrete tasks, to be sequenced and not all at once. For example, to follow the Shaolin teaching, I have to practice Tai Chi, Qigong, and Kung Fu. I need a certain amount of time. But when I look at my agenda, I realize that between family time, work time, happy time with friends, taking the dog out, hobbies, cleaning the house, well, it seems that I don't have any time. What I have to do? I don't know what you have to do, but I can tell you what I've done. I choose my priorities. Because finally, you don't have to forget that it's about your own life. And your life happens only once and right now while you are breathing. So please, start prioritizing what is really important for you. As for me, I've chosen to get up early in the morning if I want to practice my Qigong routine before the day starts. At first it was hard, but after a couple of weeks your body gets used to it. The real problem will still be the mind, because it starts suggesting you strange things like that you are tired, that if you don't train today, there is no problem, and so on. Always with a trick and a lot of excuses without too much creativity. Just for this kind of situations, we need discipline. So I just sit up straight as soon as possible, disobey my lesson mind, and obey my master. Because remember that it doesn't matter if you live in a monastery or at home. You never have a master who wakes you up. He's not your mother. You have to grow up and become your own master. There is no other way. Change depends entirely on oneself. To conclude, discipline is a really important quality that we have to develop. And yes, sorry, this topic took me more time than what I expected, so I have to leave for the next video the question about our main bad habits, as I promised you. For now, thanks for the attention. I hope you found this content interesting and useful to understand how it's really possible to change our life. Feel free to share your experiences in the comments below and see you soon. Take care. Bye.